live, Jordan.
What's up?
What's up? I'm thinking hers okay.
I'm sure they can.
Oh man.
Well, the last I forget something.
Yeah. What's up, my peoples? Look at us, we're live. Who would have thought? Did you pick any jokes to share with us today?
No. You put me on the spot.
I didn't tell you were bringing the jokes. Oh, let me pull it up. Hey y'all, welcome. This is our first event. We're gonna try to talk a little louder so you can hear us. Hopefully, we're just getting set up. This is all things home, Corpus Christi, Elite Realty Group at REMAX Elite, and this is the launch. So this is our first time doing this. So welcome. Glad you're here. We've got two people watching. You can see it on my screen. Look at that. So yeah, we're gonna hang out with y'all. So every first Thursday of the month, except this month because of the New Year's, we're gonna try to do this with y'all so y'all can get valuable information about what's going on in the real estate industry, and even more, not even so much buying and selling homes, though we can help you with that too, but all things home. So when you think about being a homeowner, what questions come to mind? Insurance questions or maintenance questions or anything like that. We want to be here to help. So yeah, we're going to do this every first Thursday of the month is our goal, and it's just our opportunity to try to connect with you guys. And so if there's questions you have, you can comment at any time. If you can comment on the video, you can text us, so our phone number's in there. You can come by, 4639 Corona Drive, number 61. You're welcome to come by. Our goal for this night, every first Thursday, is to be here 4:30 to 6:30, I think is the goal. So we'll go live from 5 to 6, and then try to be here to answer our questions. So so just our way to try to connect with you guys and help you with all things home. So I get a lot of comments from clients that are like, "Oh, I wish I would have known," or they'll text me randomly, just any random questions they have about home ownership, and so I always just try to jump in and help out. So it's going to be very chill. It's going to be off the, a little bit off the cuff, and some of it not scripted by any means. We got a few things that are on our list of things we want to cover, but
we just hit live.
And we're here. So I feel like we need to come up with like some screen names or like what is no no I'm saying like like when you have two people that are a team, not a team, but like a duo, right? There's always like the contrast of personalities, which is very fitting for both of us. So it's like, 100%. What are we? Am I Batman? You Robin?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
Or I don't know. What are other duos? What are other duos? When you guys think of me and Jordan,
what do we got?
Oh, people are commenting. Let's see. We're checking it on our laptop so we can see y'all's comments because right now we're on our phone. We're gonna get better equipment. We're gonna grow it. We got 6 people watching right now. That's cool. I don't see any comments yet. Oh, see a little delay. They're watching. 6 people are watching, but I don't see anything. Let me get up and check the phone just real quick so y'all can. And don't mind me because I'm in my socks today. My feet were hurting.
He's out here relaxing.
I know, chilling at the office. So. Oh, it's just telling me who's watching.
Okay.
Oh, you can bring them on camera. That's cool. Okay. Look, Greg Brooks is on there, so we could bring him on camera someday. 8 people watching. Look at us.
We have to get some.
Hi, Tiffany.
Get some insight from Greg.
Get some insight from Greg. Greg's a local inspector we use. So yeah, we're gonna have guests too. That's our goal. We're gonna have guests, lenders and insurance people and inspectors and just all kinds of people.
She said, "Put your shoes on."
I know. She saw it too. I'm in my socks. I'm comfy. I live at the office. Be careful what shoes I wear now. Look, you got your whites on. All right, so glad y'all can be here. We got 7 people watching right now. We're just watching our laptop, so
yeah.
So our first thing we wanted to talk about. Well, you guys, seriously, y'all comment if you have any homeowner questions or anything you want to know about real estate, what's going on, all that stuff. Feel free to comment, text us, come on by. But let's talk about 2025. So 2025 recap. What was 2025 like for you?
It was a learning year. It was a bunch of definitely a better year than my first year. So 2025 was technically my second year in real estate. So year 2 was a doozy. As far as the deals that we had to work through, but everything everything's always a lesson. So definitely was a great year. Helped I believe nine families buy or sell. So I mean that's definitely a big step for me. So this year our goal is to not only double that, maybe triple that. So
Oh, you're gonna triple it. I know you are. You're already coming out of the gate strong. You already got a bunch of stuff you're working on.
Yeah, I have a bunch under the belt already. So definitely, hopefully, a bigger year.
Yeah.
What about you?
I did. Well, the team did a total of 43 deals. So the team landed. We're top in the brokerage and top in the MLS for local sales. We had 2 people come on the team and then leave the team, and they both did 2, so that's 4, you're 9, so that's, 13, and so I did 30 deals for 2025, so
nice.
Good year. My price point was a little bit different, so that's not the most units I've ever done, but that is the most sales volume I've ever done, and so I was happy there. I was happy with 2025. It was a challenging year. It's a challenging year for you as even as a newer agent, it's like some of the people that watch 2025 are like, if you survive this year, you're good, right? If you're still here kicking, you're still selling houses, you did really good. And so I'm happy with 2025. I definitely want to continue to see it grow for my business and the team business, your business. There's definitely more we want to do, but overall, I was top 3% in the MLS for production. So thank you. Number 52. So out of 1,630, 1,670, 1,640 producing agents, I was number 52. Felt really good about that. I'm very honored by the people that I see in the top 100 to be included in that group, and to be knowing that the people out there that are hustling out there working, I know a lot of those agents, and they're like me, they don't sleep. They're always running and showing and listing, and so I'm just honored and thankful to be in that group and to have the level of business that I have, and just so thankful to my clients, friends, family, referral partners. I got tons of REMAX agents from all over the country that refer business my way, and I'm so thankful. I told a coworker in our office yesterday, I said I paid out 20, so we can pay referral fees to other agents in other cities, and I paid out $24,000 in referral fees last year and did 9 referrals. So it's a big part of my business. I mean, that's a third of my business is based on referrals, and that's just to other agents, right? I have a lot of family and friends that send people my way. So so just thankful for 2025. It was a good year, and I know we're gonna have our award ceremony as a brokerage next month, and so there'll be some awards and qualifications that we need as a team, and so thankful for that. You guys will see the postings around that, but yeah, it was a good year. 2025 was a good year, and looking forward to 2026. So, what's up, Alex? Thanks for saying hi, bro. Alex with D.R. Horton saying hi there. He's a sales rep with D.R. Horton. Great guy. Great to work with on new home sales. Yeah, so if you're looking for a new home with D.R. Horton, we can help you, and we'll get you connected.
A bunch of stuff on Red Tag right now.
Yeah.
A bunch of incentives going on.
Did you get all those notifications, too?
Yeah, always.
All the Red Tag notifications?
Alex texts me all the time.
Yeah. I get it from all of them. They all text me. You D.R. Horton reps are good about updating us on those sales. So hi, Noka. Thanks for listening.
Hello, man.
So, let's jump to our next category. So, we'll talk about what are we seeing in the market, right? So we talk about buyers and sellers. I guess I can take that one first. The buyers, for my buyers, I'm seeing a lot of inventory to choose from. The stuff that's been on the market a while, usually we can get the price down a little bit or get help with concessions. And then what the sellers are willing to do, it just varies on per situation, right? So you have some sellers that they want that price, they're not going to come down or very little. They're maybe not in a spot to give up price and concessions, but maybe some. And that's something where there's still deals to be had. I've gotten money off, I've gotten concessions, I've gotten repairs, all the things.
Yeah.
But a lot to choose from on the buyer side. But then there's some buyers that I think are just sort of waiting for the right house or not in really a big hurry. And I think that's a little frustrating for some sellers because it's like, well, we've got some showings. Why aren't we getting an offer? And it's like, well, there's a lot to choose from. And, you know, they're taking their time. There's not a sense of urgency just yet. Hopefully in the spring buying season, when there's more traffic and stuff going on, you'll see a little bit more of that. So what are you seeing with your buyers?
On the buyer side, yeah, to his point, you know, some of the individuals and families that we're able to help this past year, I mean, just, you know, last month, 2 months ago, you know, we were able to get, you know, new roofs, you know, things like that, seller concessions, right? So it's, you know, sellers are 100%, you know, they're doing things that they need to do to get the home sold.
Get it sold.
Yeah. So seller side, I mean, we you know, towards the end of the year, it's been a little slower. People are waiting to that spring, you know, sellers. So we've got a few that are brewing right now. We got one coming up, you know, Molina, he has a couple coming up, you know, some condos as well. So you know, it's definitely heating up where people are now getting confident to sell, right? So.
It's a good time to sell still in the sense of there is a pickup in the market where people are looking. So definitely can be an increase of traffic. Hi, Gloria. Thanks for tuning in. Glad you're here. Stick around. We got more info to share if you can, if you want to, or come back and watch it later. We'll post it. But thanks for being here. Appreciate that. What I'm seeing with my sellers, and this is the biggest thing, is like do the things. So if you have little touch-ups, if you have a wall that needs to be painted, if you have a light fixture that needs to be replaced, if you have, do the things. Here's why. Can people overlook some of that stuff? Yes. But will they? We don't know. And so if they're coming in, sometimes you only got one shot, right? They're only going to come see it once, usually. And you want the best first impression. And if they have, because of the amount of inventory that we have on the market right now, average days on market is 100, what was it last time we pulled it? 100 days? 90 days?
I'll pull it up right now. But yeah,
Jordan's going to pull it up for us. He'll tell us the average. Just give us average days on market in Corpus. Jordan tracks, he's really good about posting that stuff. I'm going to try to get better, but he's going to share that with us. So average days on market, and then the amount of inventory, right? So if you have 6 months of inventory, which I think is where we're at last time I checked, right?
6 months.
6 months of inventory, and how many days, what's the average days on market?
127.
Oh, that's even higher than it was when we pulled it last time. 127 days on market.
With including days to close.
Days to close. So that's, days on market's 96, days to close 31, so 127 days. And 6 months of inventory, right? So when you say 6 months of inventory, that means that there's a market saturation where there's so many houses on the market, with what's out there, it's going to take 6 months for that house to sell. Like 6 months of inventory if you're selling at that rate. Does that make sense? Did I explain that right?
Yeah.
Okay. It's been a long day. We should do this in the morning when we're awake. So if they are looking at 10 houses and your house needs more touch-ups, it needs flooring fixed, it needs an appliance replaced, it needs a wall painted, the little things, or even some big things, right? They're going to go pick a different house because they have houses to choose from, right? And that's the difference. And so really just taking the time to put a little bit of that sweat equity into the home, ask yourself, how does the home feel when I walk in? Even if you loved it well, even if you've taken care of it, you got to look through, and we can do this with you. If you're thinking about selling, we'll come walk the house with you. We'll see it through the eyes and the perspective of a buyer. We'll give you that honest feedback about what we suggest you do before we list to get you the highest dollar amount, to get you the shortest time on market. And so that enables you to get that biggest return, right? And but do the little things. That's what I'm telling my sellers, right? And so I went to a listing appointment today. She's on the home 5 years. I sold it to her 5 years ago. She's got some stuff that is just delayed maintenance. It's some cosmetic stuff. It's just some things she needs to fix. And she wanted over market value of what I was seeing the home was worth. And I said, it's not worth that, right? You got new construction down the street that's selling that are bigger, brand new with a builder that will buy down your interest rate and pay your closing costs. They're not going to pay that for your house, right? So giving her that honest feedback and honest pricing of, if you fix these things, this is where I suggest we list it to get it to sell. If you don't fix those things, you want to sell it as is, this is where you need to sell it. And so trying to give that honest feedback and trying to let sellers know what to expect. But anything else you can think of for buyers or sellers that you're seeing in the market?
No, I mean, yeah, to this point, I mean, there's just so much to choose from. It's just always best to just, do the things and, on the buyer side, and y'all, it's a plus. It's a buyer's market, right? Y'all guys can choose, interest rates are, starting to hopefully dip. So, but no, I don't have anything else there.
Absolutely. That was a lot. So I'm trying to think where I want to go next. I guess we talk about spring sales. So what's coming up with the spring buying season? I'm telling my buyers right now, like, look, if you're trying to buy something in the spring, like, do it now because there's less competition, there's less traffic. Some of these listings have been sitting since the fall last year. This is where you're going to get a motivated seller to get you that price reduction or get you the concessions. Concessions are the sellers helping you with your closing costs. So sellers have their own closing costs, their own fees to sell, right? But then you're asking them to help you with yours. That means you're bringing less money to the table to buy the house. Still got to bring usually some down payment unless you're a veteran, or there's down payment assistance programs or something like that. But most of the time you're bringing down payment and closing costs to the table. And so in this kind of market where we have so much inventory, you really can get sellers to maybe kick in some or all of your closing costs. So, yeah. So it's a good time to buy right now. As we get more into the spring buying season, there is going to be an influx of people coming to the market looking to buy, and so you're going to have more competition. You could fall in love with one house and there's 5 people that want it, right? Whereas now there's less competition. So the only thing about the camera over there is I can't see when people start watching. So whoever's joining us, thank you for being here. I can see a few names popping in, but I can't see it on my computer for whatever reason. I don't know if there's a way to see that. Is there a way to see that?
To see like
who's there, who's watching. So it's okay. They can come back and watch it too. This is going to be recorded. We'll post it so y'all can come back and watch more of it too if you want. Hopefully we're providing helpful information. Some of this stuff is not new to some people and it's really new to others. We live in this world, so like we live and breathe it all the time.
Yeah.
Right.
Sometimes we don't know that.
Yep.
What others don't know, right? So it's always best to just
share the info,
regurgitate it, and keep sharing it. Yeah.
What else was spring buying season? Oh, I did see somebody posted. I guess I haven't really heard much about this yet, but Trump announced that he was buying bonds or telling the Fannie Mae to buy mortgage bonds to try to drive down the mortgage price, the mortgage interest rate. If the rate drops and housing becomes more affordable, there's gonna be an influx of buyers coming back. So we could very easily swing back to a seller's market. So if you're a buyer and you need a deal or you want closing cost help or something like that, you should probably consider buying right now. Call me and Jordan. We can help. So did you hear about that?
Yes, I did. I saw.
What was that? I know just enough to understand what's going on, but not enough to really know what's going on.
Yeah, sometimes it's just like kind of, to understand it all.
Yeah.
But what else are you thinking? So we got the spring
buying season. So get your house with us. If you want to be a seller in the spring, when you're thinking about selling in the spring, you really want to get it on the market January, February. That's really where you start to see that uptick, especially in Corpus, because I don't know, was it 81 degrees today? It's warm here. So we don't really have an off season. Maybe during the holidays a little bit, but
yeah, so
there's still people looking to buy.
Curb appeal is still there. It's not concerning.
Yeah. Yeah. Tell me about a recent transaction. Did you pick one? We talked about this the other day. Try to speak out so they can hear you. I want them to hear your story. You got a story? I'm trying to think which one I want to use too. We wanted to share with you a recent story in real estate, but I was trying to think of which one I wanted to share with you.
Got a couple. I mean, I got one that it's recent. A buyer who was looking, pre-approved for X amount, right? We're having a tough time finding, a home that would go FHA for one, right? And, the biggest thing would be, the only reason why we need FHA was because they needed the down payment assistance, right? So we only had so much saved up. We needed the down payment assistance. So we unfortunately only could look at FHA. So we're looking at those, couldn't find nothing. We're looking for maybe 3 months, and their lease on their rental was coming up, and so I started digging into some homes, just looking, due diligence and looking at homes that I felt that could potentially, meet that cusp of, they weren't advertised as FHA, but maybe if we could, talk to the sellers, they're willing to help, or maybe just willing to consider it, right? That, we could get a deal going. So we, reached out.
So pause real quick, because I just clarified, and maybe I missed it because I was trying to pull up Facebook Live on my laptop, but like, did you explain FHA being picky?
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, FHA.
So explain that for them, just for the folks that understand.
FHA is super picky, right? So there's the biggest thing you would think that you would need, right? Is cooling, right? HVAC. But the biggest thing that we need is actually a heat source. So there's heat source is the biggest thing with FHA. Wood rot is the biggest things that you have to address. Termites, you have peeling paint, right?
Safety concerns.
Yeah. You can't have uneven walkways, things like that, right? So just a bunch of things that you have to meet.
FHA is like that, and VA is like that, because they're government-backed programs, but they really sort of they go a little extra mile in regards to protecting the buyer, because they don't want them to have issues after closing. So some of those guidelines are pretty extensive, but that's the general.
Yeah, and it's just just the bits to protect the buyer, right?
So you were saying you couldn't find them that house, so you started to get creative with it, trying to find your buyer with something within their budget.
Correct. Yeah. So we found a house that looked like it could meet those expectations, right? It wasn't too much. Obviously we saw that there was some peeling paint, there was some areas of wood rot. It didn't have, HVAC cooling, but it did have the heater, right? But we didn't know if it worked, right? So those are just things that we had to go talk to the selling agent. They were still a little hesitant on, doing it, after the fact. They considered the offer, and then they obviously, he talked with his seller, the listing agent, and, they were able to, come to agreement that, based off what we felt that was going to be called out was just the peeling paint and the wood rot, right? So come appraisal time, we expected it, right? We had the wood rot and wood rot and peeling paint, right? So we had to get bids. So in order for, sometimes the sellers are going to want certain, bids. They're going to want to take, the most cost efficient, route for them. And so we were going through the
even provided them a contract, right?
So,
you were trying to help them get their own bids because they didn't know who to use.
Yeah, exactly. So, it was in a, smaller town too as well. So not too many people are going to travel out that way. So I helped the seller out, get bids on our side. So it was just, just a lot of things that we had to do, but also that we set the expectations up with my buyer. Because that was the first, initial conversation I had, that, hey, I don't want to promise you that, I'll get you to the moon, but, these are the steps we're going to have to take. We can try, right? So, we told them, to be prepared that, things might get lagged out, right? We get their appraisal repairs. The appraiser wasn't happy with the repairs. So now at that point, he or she's asked us to go out to reassess those repairs. So now, the seller's having to get a second opinion, get people out there. And so it got dragged out a little bit, but ultimately we were able to get them to closing table. And, it was just, setting the right expectations for one with the buyer, and then also having, an agent on the other side that's also willing to, he or she has to do right by their client, right? But, it's also, trying to get it to the closing table. So I did appreciate that agent, that they were willing to, extend when we needed to extend, and assess the repairs again, when he needed to assess them. So that one was a doozy, because it lagged out longer than, what normally it should. But like I said, in the long run, they got the DPA program, got the FHA, and we were, clear to close.
That's awesome. I love that you were able to not only get creative in finding a house that worked for them, because they had a very specific budget, even in a market that doesn't have even in a market that has a good amount of inventory, you still weren't able to find them what they were looking for initially, right? So creative searching, looking for different options, exploring the search, expanding the search, looking at different options, and then partnering with that other agent to, hey, you have it listed as conventional and cash, why won't it go FHA?
Yeah.
Right? And then walking them through that, even going and showing it and putting your eyes on it to say, okay, this is probably why it won't go FHA. Are these things you're willing to address? And then maybe we can try FHA.
Correct.
And then I also love how you set the expectation with your clients, because that can be challenging, right? So as a listing agent, when you go to list, you always look at it through the lens of like, what kind of financing can we accept on this? What qualifies? but then, which is what that agent did, right? And so then for you to come into it with your buyers saying, hey, they really like the house, but can we address these concerns so we can get it to go FHA?
Yeah.
But they're homeowners now.
Yeah, homeowners.
First time buyers? Were they first time buyers?
First time home
buyers. That was Rebecca and
Jose.
Rebecca and Jose, congratulations. Glad we could help you. Glad Jordan could have your back and help you find what you're looking for. So we hope you're enjoying your home, and always here if you need anything. So, good job.
Thank you, sir. What about you? What's your story?
Man, I've had some. Well, you've had more tough ones recently than I have. You've had a lot of tough deals. I had a tough one where just feeling like the other agent really didn't have their clients back. So I had the listing. My listing was an estate, so it had 6 sellers. Basically, they inherited the property from their parents. There's 6 siblings, and walking them through the listing, getting all the signatures, getting it on the market, did all of our, creative marketing and photos and everything like that. Right away, we got an offer, and I sort of knew it was already going to be a little messy because I've dealt with this other agent before, but it kept getting messier. And so just having my sellers back through the process involved me keeping them in the loop, keeping them communicating. It's actually really cool because I got the listing from somebody that I worked with on a deal 5 years ago. She's a licensed broker out of San Antonio, and she had previously worked the Corpus market, and she loved so much how I handled the transaction and working for my buyer, negotiating for my buyer, helping my buyer, that when she decided to list their family house and she didn't want to represent her family and her sisters and brothers, she trusted me with that. And to me, that's a huge compliment in regards to how I present myself in the business. But for her to come back to me and say, hey, I'm a licensed broker, but I want you to represent us, that was pretty cool. Yeah. And so through that process, keeping them in the loop, keeping her in the loop was super important. And I usually do that anyways with my sellers in general, but walking her through what I was sort of having to manage on the other side of the transaction. And then that agent started to, basically didn't honor contract dates, ran inspections outside of the option period, which you can do, but you don't have a way to negotiate out repairs. And then coming back and asking for repairs that my sellers weren't willing to do, well, then they want to just cancel. And it's like, well, you can't just cancel. You don't have a way out of the contract. And then just dealing with that sloppiness and all the way through the transaction, and we got delayed by like a month. But through negotiating, through being firm, through like having my clients back, we got it sold. We actually closed December 31st in my last one of the year, and it was a fight to get there. Some very honest and firm conversations were had to have my clients back, but we got there and got it closed, and they were happy. She said she was so happy. She hired me to get it done, and we worked through it. So yeah, thank you. It was a lot. They don't all close, and I think people miss that when the real estate industry. It's like the people we always like to talk about, like, oh, sold this or listed that or this went pending or out showing this beautiful house, and people don't always see the realness of the industry, but also like the not every deal closes. Like I've had listings that we get an offer on it and then it falls apart and it falls apart again, and we've had buyers
buyer issues that fell through.
Yeah, financing that fell through. Right.
Personal reasons, right? Yeah. So different things that, we think we're gonna get to the closing table, and sometimes it just doesn't, right? So,
yeah.
But
lots of reasons for that to happen.
Yeah.
But I think people miss that part of real estate where it's like there's a lot of you get tough skin. You got to be willing to. It's greedy. This thing is greedy. Yeah. So anyway. And not every listing sells, right? So I had a few last year that fell through that we didn't get an offer on, or we got offers and then they didn't make it to the closing table, and not everything sells, which is a time and an investment that we don't get back. So, or not every buyer buys, right? We've had buyers ghost us, or we'll go out and show them, and then all of a sudden they decide they want to live somewhere else, or we're not ready, or don't qualify anymore. So there's a lot of that. So thanks for all y'all liking our reel. I guess this is creating a reel at the same time. We're down to 3 people watching us right now. But hey, we made it to the 30-minute mark. Look at us with our content. Good job. Yeah. That's some recent transaction stories. We'll have more of those for you. The goal of telling you the recent transaction stories is just to sort of paint a picture of what can happen in a real estate transaction, the good, the bad, the ugly, just sort of filling you in on that and sort of peek behind the curtain, if you will. So we don't have a curtain, but we had a curtain. So the next thing we want to talk about is really just a question time. So if you guys have any questions, I think some of you are jumping in now, but like the whole point of this is to provide valuable real estate information, but also questions. We're calling this night All Things Home. And so when you think about that, I mean, if you have questions about HVAC maintenance, or should I call a plumber, or how to protest my property taxes, or how to get an insurance quote, or man, I've personally owned 4 homes, sold 3. You've owned 1. I've helped over 200 people. You've helped 11, 12 now in your short stint of real estate, right? So we have the experience for sure to answer a lot of things about houses. And if we don't know the answer to your question, please, that'd be so cool. Somebody bring me a question I don't know the answer to, because I will find out. I will phone a friend. Well, not today because we're using my phone, but Jordan will call somebody, or we'll get back to you. So we'll get you the info. So, but all your questions, you can leave it in the comments. You can text us. Our phone numbers are on the invite, or you can come on by. 4639 Corona Drive, number 61. Man, it'd be so cool to get an in-person visitor.
Yeah.
So, and hey, any of you vendors, any of you affiliates, any of you business partners that are connected with our business, want to stop on by sometime, you'll get some invites. You'll be invited. Maybe we'll have you join the Facebook Live via video, or come on by and sit with us for an hour and chat with people. But if you come by randomly and you don't tell us you're coming, you better bring us snacks or food or dinner or something, right? Bring me something. I could use some water right now. I should have got water. We need like those coffee mugs where it looks like we're drinking coffee, but it's really wine. What do they say when you're on Zoom with an employer and you're like, you're drinking your coffee, but it's wine, but you got to blow on it so they don't know you're drinking wine? You drink wine? Are you wine drinker?
No, not so much.
Okay. I married French, so I drink wine.
You're married into it.
Married into it. Didn't have a choice.
Yeah.
So question time. Anybody have questions? Got 6 people watching right now. 6 people. Look at you.
Leave them in the chat.
Leave them in the chat. Any questions? You can text us. Come on by. 6 people. No. What are some common questions you're seeing? Anything? What was the most recent question somebody asked you?
Most recent question.
You're like, how do I buy a house? I get that a lot, especially first-time home buyers. I feel like I'm always running across a young couple or even a single individual.
Yeah.
They want to be a first-time home buyer. I think I had 2 this last week. They're like, how do I start? Where do I start? So I love those. I love working with first-time home buyers. I remember when I was a first-time home buyer and I didn't know what I was doing. And had helpful people around me, right? So that's usually what I get. So that would be a good question, is like, where do I start, right? So I'd be happy to explain the process to you. We set up a buyer's console, or we can just chat on the phone, sort of explain what it takes to get started. And really, you want to sort of pick who you want to work with agent-wise. Lots to choose from, but we are here to help. And then really we'll get you connected with a local lender. So we have some lender partners that we work with regularly. You'll hear from them and see them. But our local lender partners are local. You can meet with them in person. You can, it's so great to have somebody locally that you can use. They understand our taxes and our insurance in the coastal bend. And they'll get you pre-qualified. And so getting pre-qualified is super important, because they tell you, this is how much money you need down. This is how much money you need for closing costs. This is your estimated payment. So Jordan will tell you, and I would tell you, what does that say at the bottom? Can you see that? Hold on. I'm gonna keep explaining that, but hold on. I gotta check my phone. There's a lot of things popping up. Don't mind my stocks if you're just joining. A bunch of people watching. Oh, nothing. What's up, Garrison? Garrison's one of my referral partners. He's a good dude. He runs a team too. He's cool. Good dude. Oh, just people jumping in.
Just jumping in.
Oh, what up, Robert? My buddy from Denver. He's still there. Okay. I don't see any other questions. So I think it's just giving us notifications when people are joining. Hey, this is new for us. Be patient. We're learning, okay? Okay. Anyway, you get connected with the lender. They help you with that stuff. And then once you're, and sometimes it's credit repair, right?
Yeah. Repair.
Sometimes it's, what else is it? You need to save some money?
Those are the two biggest things. It's the money, and then if they don't, they're right. If they're not, some people are qualified to, to not do certain things, right? Down payment assistance, right? And certain times, most of our lenders give them a game plan, so that's why we, continue to work with certain individuals. But yeah, the next step would be once you're gonna get that pre-qualified. It's the fun happens. We get to start showing you houses.
Mm-hmm. It's really, there's nothing worse, and you've probably been through this too, is like, there's nothing worse than going out and showing houses and then they don't qualify anymore. You had one of those where they qualified and then they didn't qualify for it because of scenario. There's nothing you can do about that.
Yeah.
That happens. But also, people want to go see a $300,000 house. They only qualify for $250, or they think they're only going to buy $250 and they really could qualify for $350. Those are two different houses, right? And so getting with a lender can really help you sort of fine tune that budget, make sure that you're ready, make sure you're comfortable with that payment. That's another one. It's like, oh, I qualify for $300. We go out and show you a $300,000 house. You love it. You fall in love with it. Oh my gosh, I'm going to have Christmas here this year. That's going to be great, whatever. And then you go back to your lender and you realize the payment is way more than you're comfortable paying. And that's a hard reality because then you got to start over.
Yeah.
So had that too.
Yeah. Concerns. Yeah. And then with the lenders too, it's always best because you can be pre-approved for, 400, right? But that might not be your budget, right? So it's always best to talk with your lender and get your ideal monthly budget based off what's comfortable for you on guys.
Yeah. Thank you, CJ. Appreciate you, bro. Sorry, I didn't. CJ Frost, Neighborhood Loans, good guy, really good lender guy, very knowledgeable, helpful. CJ texted me earlier today, and I didn't get a chance to respond. You always send me good content. I always try to go back to read it. So you always got good stuff to share. So I appreciate that. But thanks for joining, CJ. Thanks for the compliment. So this is for those of you just joining us, trying to do this once a month, first Thursday of the month. This is all things home, Corpus Christi. So I think maybe what are some. Let's switch this up just for a second because I want everybody to realize all things home isn't just about real estate, right? So, or in the sense of buying and selling real estate. What is one thing I should have asked you this earlier because I know you need the question. You like the questions ahead of time more because you're introverted and I'm extroverted. I can think of more on the fly. Well, I'll let you think about it, then I'll answer it.
Well, what's the question?
You're like, no, what's the question? What is like one homeowner advice you would give, like a maintenance advice or something like, or like owning a home, like something like that? What would you say for that? We can think on that for a second, but
homeowner tip, don't. It's always you're always thinking like, I'm gonna go to the family friend or save money. I always recommend you get what you pay for, right? So just going with the reputable company that has reviews and
you're talking about for like fixes?
Anything,
right?
Okay. Like HVAC, anything, right? Just going with someone that go with a good company. Go online, go to Google, look at the reviews, right? It's always best to get someone that has a good reputation because you can get something fixed. I have prior experiences, right? You get something fixed and 2 months down the line, it's the same issue again, right? Like,
is that a personal story?
Yeah.
Who'd you hire? You don't want to say names? He's like, I can't mention them, their family, they might come back watching this.
No, that's what I prefer. I would recommend.
That's good advice. Yeah, your Uncle Joe does not need to replace the water heater. That is a bad idea.
Yeah, get someone
more issues.
That
he doesn't have an Uncle Joe. That was just.
Did you can get the warranties on, right? That's always best.
Yeah, so that's good. Well, and fixing the stuff, doing it, I agree with you. Like contractors that are reputable, contractors that are going to do it right, warranty it. But fixing the stuff too before you list, right? So going back to the real estate side, it's like getting the stuff fixed before you list because if it gets called out and they ask for it, you have to get a licensed person if that's a licensed trade, or you have to get somebody that practices that trade if it's something that
Then you can't give Uncle Joe.
Then Uncle Joe can't fix it.
Then he can't fix it.
Yeah. No, that's really good advice. I had somebody recently and they said that their water heater, I could tell you what it is and people would know if I say it, but I'm not going to throw her under the bus, but that her water heater went out and she replaced it when she just did a remodel 4 years ago. She switched to electric from gas, I think is what she said. But either way, you're supposed to get your water heater. If you have an electric water heater, so this is where we're going, right? All things home real estate. Let's go. If you own an electric water heater, you're supposed to get the tanks cleaned out like once a year, is what I think plumbers recommend. If you're a plumber, and we're not plumbers, by the way, that's our disclaimer. We should disclaim everything, right? I'm not a plumber. But from what the plumbers have told me, you're supposed to get your water heater tank cleaned out once a year. Because electric water heaters have heating elements that go into the tank. And that tank, because of the hard, especially here with the hard water we have, they get sediment buildup. And then that can cause your water heater to go out. So it's actually really easy to do. I did it once because one of my water heater had gone out. My grandpa was in town. Talk about hiring reputable people, but he fixes stuff. He's really knowledgeable. My grandpa was in town, and he was like, "Oh, well, we can fix that for you. Let's go buy the elements." So we go buy new elements at the store. Come back, we drain the water heater, pull out the elements. They were really bad. There was like a bunch. I don't know if it was ever done. They're like, "Oh, you're supposed to be doing this yearly," is usually what they recommend. And because the tank was empty, you could take like a shop vac and like go in there and like clean it out. Thank you, Greg. Thank you, Greg Brooks, validating what we're saying. Thank you for that. Go, Greg. Greg's a licensed inspector. We said about him earlier, but maybe some of you weren't here. Greg Brooks, Brooks & Brooks Inspections. Yes, you can do it yourself. It's actually not that hard. Now that I've done it, I'm like, oh, I could do that again. I say that, and this last time I still hired somebody to do it because they weren't at my house doing other things. So I was like, hey, while you're here, clean up that water heater for me. But you're supposed to clean them out and get all that sediment out as much as you can to keep the tank healthy and the elements working and everything like that. So that's my little homeowner tip for you. Get your water heater cleaned out. So if you haven't done it, schedule it today. You have a go-to plumber? No? I've used Supreme Plumbing with Steven and his crew. I've used them for years. I refer clients to them. Supreme Plumbing, Steven, love you dude, does a great job. I hire him for my personal house and then send people his way, and he does a really good job at Supreme Plumbing. So little free plug for you, Steven. Give me a discount next time you see me. But, just kidding. Yeah. What other common questions? Anybody have questions? Greg, you got a question? Greg, what do you want to know? He's still there. How many people are on? 3 people. Well, we're at 42 minutes. I'm proud of us. Our first night. So all things home, Corpus Christi, our first night doing this. We're going to do it the first Thursday of every month. Provide you helpful information about anything home related. So be thinking about your questions. We're going to create a Facebook group and get some stuff going on there. But if you're joining us, that's what we're doing right now. So we're here. So no common questions. No, nothing. Nobody has any questions. We might not get questions on the live. They may come back and ask them later. We want to be, the reason we're doing this is Elite Realty Group, we're a team inside of REMAX Elite. So it's me and Jordan. We have a transaction coordinator that helps us in the back end, and we're looking to grow. So if you're a real estate agent, you're really struggling to build your business, or you're really not happy with where you're at, we would love the opportunity to meet you and talk to you and see if you'd be a good fit. But we're a team of 2 and hoping to grow some more this year with a few more agents. We sort of always talk and joke and dream about being an all-guy team because we think it'd just be fun, but we don't mind the ladies. Good question, Kristen. I'll get to that. Thank you for your question. Love it. So we don't mind the ladies, but we think it'd be cool to have an all-guy team because it'd just be fun to do it for the dudes. But and then, sorry, I was distracted by Greg's question because that's a good question too. Thank you for your questions, guys. That means so much. I appreciate it. We'll get to those real quick. So, what? Oh, that's sexist, sir. No, it's not. Is it? I don't know. You're not. I mean, you're an independent contractor. I'm not hiring you. I mean, I guess you're joining my team, but that's hilarious. Thanks, Kristen. Thank you. That's my friend Kristen. She's awesome. Yeah, what was I saying? Oh, so we're looking to grow our team. So if you're looking to join a team, you want to grow your business, let's chat. Let's meet up. So Kristen's question, what do you like about REMAX let the ladies join. Let the ladies join. I mean, we had 2 join and then they left. So I mean, we sort of, you know, we have to heal. We have to heal. We have to like, love you, Melissa. Love you, Alyssa. They left for their own reasons, which is okay. But yeah. Anyway, we can get into all that. But I'll let you answer too. But like for me, for REMAX specifically, our office is very collaborative. I always feel like everybody's very helpful. If you have a question, somebody's here to help. We all try to help each other. There's not this like, I can't share that with you because it'll impact my business. There's enough business to share, so we're collaborative. So I like that. I like a very big REMAX worldwide. So we're in 110 countries. We've got 145,000 agents worldwide. There's a huge referral network of agents that we send business. And you get that in a lot of different areas of real estate, but REMAX, man, they love sending it to other REMAX agents. And so I love that we have that in REMAX, and there's just this level of calibration and growth and collaborative mindset behind stuff. And then you look at the numbers, like literally REMAX agents sell 16-1 to any other broker, any other big box brokerage, right? So Keller Williams, Coldwell Banker, EXP, all those, you know, all the big name brokerages, we outsell them 16-1, right? And that's not, I'm not making that up. That's actual, they track those statistics, and their REMAX agents actually outsell more than any other agent. And so there's shameless plug for Nina Lozano. Yes, absolutely. So she is an awesome broker. She's very much, I will say this about Nina, and this is why I've been with her since I started real estate, is she asks you to do her REMAX Elite, our brokerage, because we have other brokers in our brokerage, and even Mac McFarland, he's our compliance and our trainer. They'll ask you to do the things not only to protect you, but to protect you, the clients, and the brokerage. There's a lot of brokerages out there that only ask you to protect the brokerage and not you or the client. And they're all three. Like, they want you to protect everybody and do what's right for your clients. And so those are the things I like. What about you?
Yeah, just to piggyback off that, like what he just said is that, you know, yeah, our brokerage is, you know, definitely worried about us too. But Mac McFarland, I was on a training this morning, and he said, he gave us kudos at our brokerage as far as compliance and how we write our contracts, and, you know, just sticking to the book, and as we should, right, as agents, is sticking to, you know, what's law, is that we do a great job, right? But even though so, he recommended us to also go out, you know, to help the other agents, right? And so that's just a mindset of how we are here, is that we're always willing to help, and we're not trying to be spiteful when we say help other agents, but walk them through the things they may not know, right? They may not know certain things because we have the advantage of having someone like Mac, right? And having the added training and having the compliance. So that was one thing that stuck with me just from this morning that he said, is that, like, you know, go out and, you know, help those other agents. You know, it's not up to, it's not our job, right? But, you know, if there's something that you can recommend for them to do that could help their business, you know, and it's going to protect the seller, everyone in the transaction, right? So that's how we have, you know, I love that REMAX is. But besides that, you know, it's the brand, you know, and, you know, same thing as well. When I first, you know, I've interviewed with a couple brokers, and when I interviewed with Nina, it just felt like home. You know, I just felt it wasn't too pushy. It was, you know, she's gonna, you know, do buy well by us, and, you know, she's not gonna babysit us either, right? So that's what micromanage or any of that stuff, right? So it's a brokerage, it's a family environment. We have great people up front, Carrie, you know, Melissa, right? So that's what as far as REMAX, and then to his point too, the bigger picture of, you know, having, you know, REMAX referrals from, you know, California, from everywhere, right? We have agents all over the world that, you know, you make one interaction with them and they're friends for life, right? And so you get to take advantage of that.
Yeah. If you missed the video earlier, I did 9 referrals last year out of 30 deals. So, and most of those were from REMAX agents. So that's just agent referrals. That's not even like people referring business my way, but agent referrals. And that's a testament a lot to REMAX and the referral network and stuff. So yeah, that's good. He was bringing up Mac McFarland. So for those of you guys that don't know, Mac is out of our Harlingen office, but he is our compliance and trainer for REMAX Elite. He's top 6 trainers in the state of Texas.
He just got nominated for Trainer of the Year.
Trainer of the Year. He's phenomenal. He's a funny guy. He'll tell you how to do it the right way. We like Mac, but he's top 6 trainers in the state, and he's on staff with REMAX Elite. So we love Mac, and he helps us. He hosts trainings. I mean, this week I think we only have 1, but most weeks he's doing 3 to 6 trainings a week. I mean, he's doing a new agent training. They have a curriculum at REMAX called Momentum, and it helps you like build your business from the ground up. And there's a ton of tools and resources here, a lot of great information. So I think we probably over answered Kristen's question, but that's what we love about REMAX. So.
And then we had Greg.
Yeah, Greg asked about pre-inspection. Do you encourage pre-inspection? Why or why not? So for those that are listening, pre-inspection, you're working with a seller to get their home on the market. The seller can elect to hire an inspector to come in and do a pre-inspection, similar to an inspection like a buyer would do once they get it under contract. Have the seller do it. I say in the 6 years I've been doing real estate, I haven't had a ton of sellers do that. I usually mention it. The challenge with why not to do it is anything that you find out about the house that requires disclosure, you're supposed to disclose it, and then when you fill out the seller's disclosure, you have to provide that report. So maybe for somebody that is very, analytical, wants to make sure everything's fixed, make sure that there's not any issues after you get a buyer to contract and get an inspection, that might be a good option. I think for a lot of sellers, it might scare them a little bit because inspectors are really good about finding stuff. Even you, Greg, even you. But did that come to you too?
No.
Or was that me? Okay. So I think, that might scare some sellers, or some sellers may not want to know, because what happens is, as a buyer, if you get a house under contract, you run your inspections, a lot of buyers don't come back and ask for everything in the report. So then you never know about it, right? And so if you know about it, you have to disclose it. So that's the catch 22. I honestly wish more sellers, and maybe I need to encourage them more to do it. I honestly wish in this market, more sellers would do it, because I think it would eliminate, when you get to the market, you get that first offer, it's less likely to fall through, because not that you have to go back and fix everything, because no homeowner does, right? I know there's things that need fixing on my house right now. I don't always go back and fix everything that could be wrong, because inspectors look at the national code, they look at local code. Not everyone goes back and fixes everything about their house. And so that's something where but I do wish in this market, with the challenges to get to the closing table, that maybe more sellers would take advantage of that. Yeah. So what do you think? Any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, because it's gives the seller the opportunity to not be surprised by anything too, as well, right? If you have that type of seller, that is willing and wanting to address everything. Yeah. But great question, Greg.
Well, it might be a good option for a seller that's not really sure what's going on with their house. They want to know what's going to get called out, right? So at least they know. And so I've had sellers that have done that, or have done it even after a buyer backed out of the contract. They get the report from them, and then they go back and fix a bunch of the stuff, so that they're able to provide that report to a potential buyer saying, hey, these are the things, that we fixed on the home. So great question. Thank you, Kristen. Thank you, Greg. Really appreciate you guys jumping in and asking those questions. If you guys have any more questions, we got just a little bit more time. So if there's anything we can answer for you, let us know. So. Oh, what time are we at? We're at 53 minutes. We did good. Look at us.
Good for the first time.
Look at us. So we'll post this video out so y'all can see it. But again, for those joining, this is our All Things Home, Corpus Christi, and we're gonna do this first Thursday of every month as much as we can. And y'all are welcome to leave comments with questions. We're gonna make a Facebook group, and from the Facebook group, invite people to join the group, but also like a spot where you can also ask questions. We're gonna have lenders and vendors and sponsors, and try to just get you guys valuable information. And so we'll have to look and see next month. Maybe we'll have a lender here next month. Maybe we could see who wants to join us next month to maybe answer some questions for us. And who wants to stop by. But y'all are welcome to come by our office, We're here first Thursday of every month. We'll probably try to be here always by 4:30. The live will go 5 to 6, and then 4:30. The live will go 5 to 6, and then we'll be here until 6:30. So feel free to stop by. You don't have to ask a question live on the camera, but and then always here. We want you to think of the Elite Realty Group and REMAX Elite when you think of anything home related. We're here to help. I've helped people protest taxes. I've sent plumber info and HVAC info, and I love when people text me and be like, "What do you think of this wall I just decorated?" I'm like, "It looks good. I like it. Nice job." So anything we can help with. So cool. All right, guys. Well, we'll let you go. We won't hold you hostage. But thank you for those that stopped by. Thank you for those that asked questions. If you have more questions, you can leave it in this video. We'll try to keep an eye on that. And then we look forward to the next time we get to hang out and be together. And y'all enjoy the rest of your January. We're going to get any rain? Is it going to be like summer through January?
I don't know.
It's hot. It's
supposed to get a little cooler Sunday.
Oh, is it? It's supposed to drop?
Yeah.
Okay. We'll try to. I'm getting older. I mean, like, you're a little younger than me, but you're still getting up there, right?
Yeah.
So
My back doesn't feel.
Your back doesn't feel any younger. We'll try to avoid talking about the weather too much on these videos because old guys talk about the weather.
Oh, okay.
Like, oh, shit, the storm rolling in this weekend. Oh, and at the beginning we asked what duo. So as you guys watch these videos, if you want to label us a certain duo, why there's just two of us, we need a duo. As the team grows, I mean, like, there's gonna be other people in the videos. It won't be just me and Jordan, but So anyway, coolio. Well, I'm gonna stop that. So
Later, guys.
thanks for joining us.
Thank
Until
you.
next time. Always here to help. How can we help?
Maybe I'll have my shoes off next time.
Yeah, maybe Jordan will go shoot us next time. So, all right, y'all. Take care.